Hey guys, welcome to PHP with MySQL Essential Training. Today we are going to cover the data types of PHP. Uh, First of all, we have to know that variables can store data of different types, and different data types can do different things. PHP supports basically a few data types that we are going to discuss and show you in practical here. There are several data types like string, integer, float type, boolean, array, object, null, and resource. We are going to cover first three or four types of data in this chapter. First, let's jump in the practical session. Let's go to the desktop first. I hope you started the Apache and MySQL services. Open up your browser. Check localhost is working. Now open your Visual Studio Code. Let's open side by side for our. Okay, that's better. Close this one. Here's our previous data. Okay, let's delete those. Delete those also. Okay, and save it as. Let's name these as strings. Strings. Okay, now check this out. Just.php. Okay, what I have done wrong? Oh, there it is. I should type my project. Undefined variable, line 6. Okay, those two I have deleted. Save this one. Save, reload. Okay, everything is working fine. Let's jump in. Suppose we declare two variable greetings. Greetings. Let's call it greetings. Hello. Other is target. Let's call it world. World. Semicolon. And then call it another variable, declare another variable. Let's call it a full phrase. Greetings. Then it will add an space. Then it will add the world part, and here it will be target. Okay, the semicolon. Now we have to just echo this part, target. It's getting interesting. Okay, let's run this. Hello bird. Okay, now better. Let's give it a break. The breaks for another thing, I guess. It should be working. Echo. Is it going to work? Okay. Okay, we have seen here we declare a variable called greetings, and the value is hello, and another variable is target, and the value is world. Now we have to concat those variable using another variable called phrase. Then we have to combine those greeting dot, and we have to put an space here inside a double semicolon, and then target, and we have to echo only this part. Again, this one shows that. Let's jump into some functions. String is a sequence of character, as we know. In this section, we will look at some commonly used function to manipulate a string, like string length, or word count, or string reverse, something like that. Let's jump into that. Copy that one. Here we can call that function to by this. Let's run this one. There you see the output. Okay. Add those things for better understanding. Okay. Let's do that. For better viewing the result. Here you can see the string length function here returns the length of the string of hello world. You can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 characters here. It shows the output 12. There is a word count. There is a hello and world. There is a 2 word. String word count. Okay. Following that, the PHP string reverse function reverses a string. Here you can see there are other string POS function searches for a specific text within a string. That means we can found a specific position of a string inside that sentence. Okay. There's another function, string replace. By this function we can replace some character with some other character in a string. By this function we have replaced world with dolly. You can see there's a fact we have already declared this as a phrase, so we can replace that with phrase. It will return the same result. It should be. Let's try this out. Okay, here you can see it returns the same result. Okay. Sure. It returns the same result on the same result. Try this out by yourself. Okay, let's save this and close this one. Let's jump into numbers. PHP numbers. In this chapter we we'll look into in depth into integer, float, and number string. One thing to notice about PHP is that it provides automatic data type conversion. So if you assign an integer value to a variable, the type of that variable will automatically be an integer. Then if you assign a string to the same variable, the type will change to a string. This automatic conversion can sometimes break the code or destroy your code. Okay, there is some rules for integers. As you know, an integer must have at least one digit. An integer must not have a decimal point. An integer can be either positive or negative. Integer can be specific in three formats: decimal 10 based, hexadecimal 16 based, prefixed with 0x, or octal 8 base prefixed with 0. There are some functions to check the type of variable is integer or not. We'll show you later. Let's jump to some practical or start coding to show you. Okay, let's create an let's get a file name number. Okay, number dot php. Oh, sorry. New file. Numbers. Should save these as PHP. Okay, let's jump into numbers dot php. Let's declare a variable x equal to 4325. We are going to use an function named var_dump. Let's see. Okay, var_dump here. let's call the variable x. Okay, run this one. Here you can see we have declared a variable, integer variable for 3 to 5, and by this function isInt, it checks whether this variable x is an integer or not. Let's check this out with another example. Let's try 7.5. I will execute this. It will return a false because 7.5 is not an integer. Let's try this. Here you see it returns an false. Copy this one. Okay, better now. Let's jump in. Let's check it's 3.1415. Let's declare that as y is float. And here you see it's a floating number. We have checked the integer number and floating number by this command is float and is int. Now we can also check whether it's a double or not. Okay, let's try. Double. Okay, it's also true. It's double. Okay, everything is fine. Let's fast forward. There are more examples like that. Let's copy some command to show you. Quickly. There is some command. By this command, finite or infinite. Okay, let's check this. Break. To check whether it's a finite number. This output is a finite. I think it's a finite. It's a finite number. There is a cause by invalid calculation. As a variable echoes it. That means it will check x is the value of x is a number or not. N means not a number value. Float n. Okay. Let's check another one is numeric 5985. It's a numeric. Yes, it's a numeric. Okay. This one also a numeric. That one also a numeric. Numeric number. Hello is not a numeric number. It's false. Okay. Following that, there's a tricky one. Casting string and float to integer. Sometimes you need to cast a numeric value into another data type. The integer function are often used to convert a value to an integer. By this command, we have converted cast float into integer 23465.768. Actually it is an floating number. We convert this number to an integer. Here you see 23465. It omitted after this decimal point. Okay. Cast string to integer. By this x is an string. User put x variable, put a value as string here, but int cast function converted this to an integer. That means it has to omit after decimal point number and take this as an integer number 23465. 23465. Very simple. Let's see some more function. Okay, this is the last one for number type. By those, PHP has a set of math function that allows you to perform mathematical tasks on numbers, such as pi function, mean, max, absolute, square root, round, and the random function rand. Let's check one by one. Please save this one. Provide break here. Actually, two would be nice. Run this one. Okay. We should give here, I think. We should put for better viewing. Okay. Does not apply it properly. It's okay. That's fine. By this function, pi function returns the value of pi. Here you can see the value. Next, move on. The mean and max function can be used to find the lowest and highest value in a list of argument. Okay, this v number as an argument inside main function. The minimum value is here 200 minus 200. It shows this, and the maximum value is 150 in max function argument. It shows 150. Here this is function name and argument inside first bracket. Let's move next one. Absolute value, it returns 6.7. The absolute function returns the absolute value of a number. Absolute means the positive value of that positive value of that number. The square root function returns the square root of a number. 60 here is 64. 8 times 8 is 64, or 8 square means 64. That's it. The round means the floating rounds function round a floating number to its nearest integer. 0.60 is greater than 0.5. That's why 1 is the closest integer, and here 0 is the closest integer, so it returns 0, and here it returns 1. You see, random. The random function generates a random number. It changes every time, I think. You see, it changes. Okay. To get more control over the random number, you can add the optional min and maximum parameter to specify the lowest integer and the highest integer to the function to be returned. For example, if you want a random integer between 10 to 100, including 10 and 100, then we have to use 10, here 100. Let's change this one 100 to 7,000. Save this one, run this one again. Here you see. Okay. For complete reference of mathematical operations, number, strings, or any data types, you can visit the manual of PHP in php.net website. For go through in details and play and juggle with each other and experiment yourself to better and understand those things. That's all about strings, numbers, and strings, number, and variable. Now we are going to see the booleans. It's very simple, I think. Let's create a file first. First copy and save this one. PHP NULL. Okay. We have declared variable 1 true, variable 2 is false. Echo variable 1 will display number 1, and it will display nothing. Variable 2 will display nothing. Okay, let's break here. Okay, 1 0. This returns nothing. By this function we can justify a condition, true or false. Like variable 1 equal to true. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try. It returns nothing. And variable 2, let's say 12. Here you see let's forget this. Just remember that when the condition is satisfied, it will return 1, and when the condition is not satisfied, it will return 0. That's all about Boolean. Let's close this one. So we have learned about strings, boolean, variables, different kind of variables, numbers. In next chapter we are going to learn about arrays, constant and null. So stay connected. See you in next video. Bye.